What's up, YouTube? This is the Prince of Games 1211 coming at you with my debut YouTube video, which is going to be a deck profile on my Elemental Hero deck. It's one of my favorite decks to run just because it's a classic. It's fun to play, and I just enjoy it. I love a good fusion. Okay, let's get into it. For my main deck, I run about one of each Elemental Hero. Um, that's minus one or two of them. Can't think of the names at the moment, but let's go. Alright, I run one Elemental Hero Avion, one Elemental Hero Bubble Man. It's got the ability, when it's the only card in your hand, you can special summon it, and when you do so, if you have no cards on your field besides for Bubble Man, you can draw two cards. Good card if you're in a pinch. Then one Elemental Hero Blade Edge, a level 7, 2600 attack, and when it attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict piercing battle damage. It's a great card to get around some stuff. Elemental Hero Burstinatrix, the original hot lady. Then we have Elemental Hero Clayman, nice rock solid defense. I'm hysterical. Then Elemental Hero Sparkman, I love this card art, love it. Then Elemental Hero Neos, main man, I love the Stardust horns on his head. Then Elemental Hero Wildheart, it's a great card, unaffected by traps, very handy effect. Elemental Hero Woodsman, not only does it have a solid 2000 defense, once per turn during your standby phase, you can add one polymerization to your hand. It's amazing, love it. Then Elemental Hero Heat. This is a great card. It's probably one of my favorite, after Stratos, of course. Second favorite Elemental Hero monster effect. It gains 200 attack for each face-up Elemental Hero you control. So you summon it, it's automatically going to get to 1800 attack, because it includes itself. So yeah, it's a great time, fun time. Then Elemental Hero Lady Heat. I'm not so hot for this one, puns right there, because it's a 1300 attack, 1000 defense, no real thing, and its effect it's all right. You can during your end phase inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each face-up Elemental Hero monster you control. If you have like a lot on the field, I guess it's good, but I mean, I'm not a fan, personally. I just run it on principle. Then Elemental Hero Necro Shade, level 5. I never normal summon this thing unless I get like some sort of way to normal summon from my hand or special summon it without tributing. But mainly what you do is you keep it in your hand and use it as a fusion material or a discard to activate your super polymerization to allow you to normal summon out either Blade Edge or Neos without a sacrifice. And it's one of the few dark types I run for my Esquirdo play. Then we run Elemental Hero Ocean. It's a good alright monster, 1500 attack, but its ability is why you love it. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can return one hero monster from your side of the field or your graveyard back to the owner's hand. It's great. If you're versing a hero deck and you somehow manage to get control of one, and say if they're a high level, like I don't know, let's say he's got like a Great Tornado, just for an example, and you somehow manage to get control of that, which will never happen in this deck, because I don't run any controlling cards like that. You'll be able to send it back to the hand. Great card. Then Prisma, classic Elemental Hero. What you do is you reveal a fusion, and then you send from your main deck a fusion materials, Sparkman for example, for the Shining, and Prisma gains that effect. Not effect, that name, I apologize for that. It's a great card. It works out pretty well with Monster Reborn or Oversoul, if you want to. Then Elemental Hero Stratos, main Elemental Hero. Every single hero deck runs one of him because you got it. Which is when it's normal or special summon, you can add one hero monster from your deck to your hand. Or the first one, which I find to be pretty useful as well, is you can destroy spell and trap cards up to the number of other hero monsters you control. So say you already have two heroes on the field and you bring out Stratos, you can destroy 2 spell or trap cards in the field. And if the situation demands it, like say he's got like a gravity bind that's bothering you, you can go ahead and get rid of that. Great card. Elemental Hero Voltic. This is an alright card. I love its ability when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, targeting one of your banished Elemental Heroes, and you can special summon it. It's a pretty nice card. Now, you might be wondering, why would he have a Rainbow Dragon in an Elemental Hero deck? I'll tell you why. Because I love the fusion Rainbow Neos, which is a Neos in either Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon fusion, which is really good. I love it to build. I get in him when I get to the fusions, but one for him, and also you can use it to bring out the Shining if you need. Otherwise, it can be a dead draw sometimes, and I understand when people don't use it, but I just love Rainbow Neos too much. Then the classic 3 King of Swamps, mainly because, well, I mean it's King of Swamp. Anyone who runs a fusion deck knows what this card does. Just discard it, you can get polymerization in your hand, or it can be a fusion material for any fusion card, as long as the other fusion material is the one listed. You can't run 2 King of Swamps and bring out whatever you want. That would be way too cheap and overpowered, and it would most likely get banned if it had that effect. But thank God it's not. Now to the spells. I run 3 polymerizations, self-explanatory. 2 super polymerizations. Keep in mind, everyone, it's a quick play, so you can use it during your opponent's turn as well. 2 miracles. I'm thinking about running a 3rd one, but I'm not quite sure. I would want to get rid of another card, but this deck works out too well for me. Then I run 3 Mask Change, one of my favorite of the fusion type bringer outer cards. Target one face-up hero you control. For example, we'll use Elemental Reclaimant. Send it to the graveyard. You can bring out a masked hero with the same attribute, which would be Diane. Masked heroes are great cards, and you can use it to get around. Like, say you're attacking with, I don't know, your Blade Edge. You're going to get your Blade Edge on the field, and you're attacking for your attack. Your opponent activates Magic Cylinder. You would take the damage. If you activate Mask Change, if it's your turn, it can be from your hand. You can activate it, and then you send Blade Edge to the graveyard and bring out Diane. Magic Cylinder then is wasted because it has no effect, and then you can just go ahead and attack with Diane for even more attack point damage than Blade Edge has. So it's a great card, but it can't be used the turn you set it. Keep that in mind, everyone. Some confusion about that, but you can't do that. You can activate from your hand during your turn at any time, and if it's set during your opponent's turn at any time, giving the situation. Then we have the staples in this deck: Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm. Then I run 1 emergency call just because this exact Elemental Hero deck runs a lot of cards. It runs 47. I know that's more than like why would I do that? It just there's a lot of cards I want to use, and it doesn't slow me down. This deck's really fast paced, surprisingly, for this amount of cards. So yeah, 1 emergency call. Add any Elemental Hero from your deck to your hand. The great card. You can add Stratos to your hand. Summon again, another one. It's like a chain, never ends. Then Oversoul. It works with about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, but when it works, it really works. So I'm not going to use it to bring back an Avion unless I don't know. I would pretty much just never use that on an Avion. I'll probably use it on Claimant if I need a good defense, but I use it for this guy, Elemental Hero Neos. If I go for a fusion with him, summon it out, use Oversoul, I get him back. They have 2 heavy hitters to worry about now, so it's a great card. Then Dark Hole, my Rhoda, Reinforcement of the Army, staples. Now here's a spell card. Here's a spell card. I'm sorry, I said that like 5 times. Here is a spell card that you will never see in Elemental Hero deck besides for this one. Why? I have no idea. It's Defusion. I use this. People are like, why do you use that? I'm like, well, basically what I can do with it is, say I have my Absolute Zero, just for an example, out on the field, and I manage to summon him out, but he has a Bottomless to match it. Since Bottomless is not a counter, I can chain to it. And Defusion's a quick play, so I can chain that. My Absolute Zero will return to my extra deck. Sadly, its effect would not activate because it will instant to grave, but I would get my fusion materials back for it. So it's pretty much like a counter, almost, the way I use it. And also, another great way, this card gives me OTKs a lot. Say you go out for your Great Tornado, your opponent's got an empty field, he had a bad hand, whatever. You attack with Great Tornado, 2800. Then you can go ahead and use your Defusion. Attack with your 2 fusion material monsters. And then now here's if you really want to mess up the guy, go for a super poly play after you attack with those 2 and bring out Great Tornado to kill him. It's great Defusion. I love it. People don't use it, but I strongly recommend it. Then I run 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, self-explanatory. Then 2 Magnum Shield. This is I'm not sure of how new this card is, but it's new to me. I just discovered this about a week ago. It's a great, solid equip spell card for this deck. It can only equip to a warrior type monster, but since almost every card in Elemental Heroes are warriors, it works out perfectly. Its effect on the monster depends on the monster's attack position. If it's an attack, it gains attack equal to its defense, which, say you have Shining, just 2600 attack, it adds that 21 onto there for a whopping 4700, giving your opponent a big beater to have to get around. And it works in the same way for defense mode. It gains defense equal to the original attack. 2 of those. Then, one of my favorite trap cards, I run this in every deck I have, a Magic Cylinder. It's a classic card. It was from the original series. I love it. And nothing is more satisfying than beating your opponent with their own monster. We all know that. Everyone loves doing that. He attacks me, I send a blow right back at him, and he's done. Then we got Draining Shield. This card's great as well because you gain life points. So it's pretty much like you negate the attack, then you gain your opponent, then you gain the attacking monster's attack points as life points. I'm sorry for that. That was a mouthful. Then we got Boundless, self-explanatory. Just get rid of monster. I run 1 negate attack just because it ends the battle phase, which I like. It's kind of like a battle phaser, but trap, and you own some of the monster. Then Mirror Force, classic Mirror Force. Doesn't really need much explaining. And then I run One-Dimensional Prison, classic Banish. And what I love about this card is too that Stardust Dragon can't negate it because it doesn't destroy, unlike Boundless, which does as you can see, it says right here, destroys, and then banish. So Stardust can get on that. Okay, that's my main deck. Now for my extra deck, I run the 14 fusions, 1 XZs. For my fusions, I run 1 of each of the attributes. 1 Elemental Hero Gaia, Elemental Hero Great Tornado, Elemental Hero Nova Master, probably my second favorite after the Shining, of course, for the attribute monsters, because it's a positive draw engine for this deck. When it destroys a monster by battle, you can draw a card. It's pretty nice. It comes in handy. Then the Shining. Everyone loves the Shining. Elemental Hero Esquirdo. Love the name. Love the card art. It just looks so sick to me. Gains 100 attacks for each Elemental Hero. It's kind of like it has a similar effect as Goku over here, but we'll get into Goku in a little bit. Then we got Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero is classic. It gains 500 for attack for every other face-up water monster you control. I only run 2 main deck water monsters. Oh no, 2, 5. Sorry, I forgot about my 3 King of Swamps. They're water aqua types, I believe. Yes, they are. What this one? A Paul. Oh, no monster named a Paul. What a shocker. Back to this deck. Now we get to the Masked Heroes. I run 1 of each. I run Masked Hero Vapor. Can't be destroyed by card effects. If the situation demands it, Mask change into that. It's a great effect. Then Goku. Me and my friends call it the Elemental Hero Super Saiyan, even though it's Masked Hero Goku. Because Goku and Goku do sound a lot alike. And the way his head is designed just reminds us of the classic Dragon Ball Z. Then into Masked Hero Diane, probably one of the best Masked Heroes. I know there's only 4, but it's one of the best. Destroys a monster by battle. You can special summon 1 level 4 lower hero monster from your deck. Such a good effect. You attack with it. You can summon out Stratos. Then you can add another monster to your hand. Oh, the possibilities are endless. Then Masked Hero Acid we get to. One of the most popular ones because it pretty much is like a heavy storm in a monster. When it's summoned, it destroys all spell and trap cards your opponent controls, and then all their monsters lose 300 attack points if they have any face-up monsters. Now I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite plays to run with this deck. You fusion out for your Absolute Zero. Then you go ahead and use your Mask Change over here to go into your Masked Hero Acid, and then Absolute Zero's effect will kick in, which is when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, it destroys all monsters your opponent controls. So all of the monsters are gone. And then Masked Hero Acid's effect, when it's summoned, it destroys all spell and trap cards. So it's a field clearing combo right there. It's very nice. Then I run 4 specific fusion monsters, meaning you need 2 of these monsters. 1 Plasma Vice, which is Sparkman and Blade Edge combo, two very nice monsters I might add. And what happens with this is I used to run a Thunder Giant just because I liked its ability. You can destroy a face-up monster. But then I discovered this card while watching one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX episodes. Love the series. When not only does it inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent, it also you can discard one card, target one attack position monster your opponent controls and destroy it, which really comes in handy. This guy gets summoned like probably one out of every 3 duels I play. Classic, I love it. Then we run into my Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman. It's a classic card from the original GX. Love it, love it. Which is a Flame Wingman and Elemental Hero Sparkman combo. Now, you may have noticed I don't run a Flame Wingman. If not, I don't. So there you go. Now you've noticed. But what you do is you get the Sparkman, and then you go Poly or Miracle or Super, whatever you gotta do, with your King of Swamp. Because King of Swamp can be your Wingman to your Sparkman. It works out really well. Gains 300 attack for every Elemental Hero card in your graveyard. And here's the fun part. When it destroys a monster by battle, your opponent takes effect damage equal to the monster destroyed attack points. So say you manage to destroy a Logia with this, assuming you manage to get Flaming Man in the field in the first place. You destroy the Logia, he will take that 2400, I believe, damage it is. Great card. Then I run and you go with the Wild Edge. This card's not that good per battle phase. So, say your opponent has 3 monsters on the field, they're giving you a hard time. You can destroy all of them. And then you still have, say if you have another monster, you can go and attack with that. It's a great card, comes in handy. And yeah, it's one of the good ones. Then we get into my favorite specific fusion, I call them. Rainbow Neos. Classic card. So it's a Neos and Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon fusion. And what it is basically, it's got 3 effects. They can only be activated once per turn. As you can only use one of them, not all 3 of them once per turn. Which is send one monster you control to the graveyard, shuffle all monsters your opponent controls into the deck. It's a great card because a lot of monsters, because it doesn't actually flip, so you don't have to worry about your Raikou. You don't have to worry about your Raikou destroying it. Because it's gone, it'll be gone. And, pardon me. And then you get the it doesn't destroy things, so it can't be negated with a Stardust Dragon. So that's great. And then you pretty much have the same thing, but with spell and trap cards, which is awesome. You know, it's a little bit more risky because they can still chain stuff to that, but I mean, you never know. You never know how it could work out. And the third one, which I don't use as well, I don't use as often. I only use it against my when I verse those Lightsworns, those pesky Lightsworns with their Judgment Dragons. You send one card from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Basically, send the top card. I don't know why they say it like that. It sounds weird. Then you shuffle all cards in your opponent's graveyard into the deck. That pretty much shuts down the Lightsworn decks. Like halfway through duel, you get rid of all their cards. They're done pretty much. The duel's yours almost. And yeah, this is a classic card. I managed to get this guy out probably one. I pretty much, if I can get this guy out, I do. I love it that much. Then we come to my 1xZs, my Heroic Champion Excalibur. This card's great. 2000 attack, 2000 defense. Well, rank 4, which it works out good because every Elemental Hero that I run, except for Heat and Lady Heat, which are Pyro types, are Warrior types. And with the exception of Neos, Blade Edge, and Necroshade, they're all level 4. So you go ahead and overlay for this guy. And then you can detach the 2 units, doubling its original attack, putting it at 4,000 until your opponent's next end phase. It works out great if you have like a heavy hitter you gotta get around. Like say they got like like a Blue Eyes that's giving you a hard time, and you just want, I wish I was gone. You manage to get your Excalibur, and it will be. And so yeah, that's my extra deck. And I currently don't run a side deck for this because I'm not a big fan of side decks. In my opinion, they make things a little more hectic and confusing for me. Some decks I run them when I have a necessity. I run my Evil Swarm deck. So yeah. And so yeah, so this is my Elemental Hero deck. This is gonna be the first of many YouTube videos. I'm gonna try to do a deck profile every other week, or if there's a special occasion, otherwise. And then soon I'm gonna be getting booster boxes. I'm gonna be opening up for you guys. I'm gonna put them on YouTube. I'm gonna put them on. I'm looking forward. Got some great packs in my shopping cart on Amazon. I'm looking forward to getting. So yeah, it's just a matter of time. So like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends. Once again, the Prince of Games 1211 here, signing off.